When you think of Jimmy Page, you probably imagine him shredding on his electric guitar with Led Zeppelin. But what makes Page so special is that he's not just a guitar hero.
So I can see where I'm going, baby.
He's a musical wizard who loves experimenting with different instruments to create unique sound.
Play that thing.
That's exactly what he did on Pride and Joy, the hit track from his 1993 collaboration with David Coverdale on the Coverdale-Page album.
I'm David Coverdale.
And I'm Jimmy Page.
And you'll be seeing us on More of This.
I took the creative side of working with Jimmy Page very seriously, because I'd been a fan and an admirer of Jimmy Page since way before Zeppelin, Coverdale told.
Of course, I've been an admirer of Jimmy's from way before Zeppelin, before the Yardbirds.
You look so good, oh baby, you must be bad.
Page is a lovely, lovely, lovely man to work and to socialize with.
Fascinating process to watch him work in the studio. I've worked with a lot of guitarists, a lot of big-name guitarists as well for many years. But to see a true craftsman at work, the most remarkable thing, I think, was a real simple discovery.
Aside from his killer guitar work, Page added some unexpected layers to the song by playing two instruments you might not expect in a rock anthem: the dulcimer and the harmonica. These choices gave Pride and Joy a fresh and distinctive vibe that set it apart from typical hard rock songs.
A powerful, anthemic tune.
One of the coolest surprises in Pride and Joy is Jimmy Page's use of the dulcimer. If you're not familiar, the dulcimer is a stringed instrument often used in folk music, especially in the Appalachian region. It has a light, gentle sound that's worlds away from the usual electric guitar riffs of rock, but Page has always loved mixing different genres and sounds.
He is so concerned with getting the best out of the song, that at times you'll find on some of the tracks on the album, there isn't a guitar solo, which takes nothing away from the actual input on the guitar. It's a beautiful approach and perfect for me as a songwriter to work with somebody with that focus on a song.
The dulcimer's soft, resonant tones sit underneath the guitar, adding a subtle layer of warmth and depth. It might not be front and center, but it gives the song a folk-inspired edge that makes it feel more dynamic.
So take me to your river, baby, take me to your sea.
It's a classic example of Page pushing the boundaries and proving that even in hard rock, there's room for something unexpected.
Well, I'll be the first to admit that. It's the best I've played since the days of Zeppelin and the complete picture of things, I play well in other circumstances here and there, but in the overall, there's no doubt about it.
To work with him, where you have all this interesting and articulate and melodic and scary guitar tone.
You look so good, oh baby, you must be bad.
If the dulcimer adds a bit of folk to Pride and Joy, the harmonica brings it right back to Page's bluesy roots. Since the early days of Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page has always had a deep connection to the blues, and the harmonica is one of those instruments that's instantly recognizable as part of that tradition.
Ah, yeah. I used to play harmonica. I was booked to do harmonica sessions when I was a studio guitarist. I'd just go down and play harmonica on, a few things anyway.
Play that thing.
Page's harmonica playing on Pride and Joy adds a gritty, raw feel to the song. It's not just there for show. It gives the track an earthy, emotional edge.
And I hadn't really played since those days. And I just felt the number would be really good with a harmonica in it, in Pride and Joy. So proceeded to do it, and it was fun playing it again.
Page's harmonica parts are simple but effective, bringing just the right amount of emotion without overpowering the other elements.
We were a great inspiration to each other and very encouraging. A lot of people, I would imagine, with Jimmy or myself, are somewhat intimidated because of whatever we've done. And we settled with each other immediately. And really, you know, for me, it was an enormous inspiration to work with somebody I'd admired for so long, and certainly learned from and copped from too. And it was a treat. It was the most refreshing experience I've had for a long, long time.
The harmonica's bluesy tone balances out the powerful guitar riffs and Coverdale's soaring vocals, grounding the song with a sense of authenticity.
Plus, I think from any other area, it's short-sighted to level that sort of criticism, because David's employing so many different, many different colours and textures to his voice on this, you know.
It's one more way Page shows he's not just a guitar player, he's a musician who knows how to use different sounds to make a song really resonate.
Apart from the fact it was, what's he doing? It was this blur of fantastic fingers. That's what he rejoices in that I can't copy.
What makes Jimmy Page so brilliant is that he's always thinking outside the box. He doesn't just stick to electric guitar, though we love him for it. He's always exploring new instruments and textures to elevate his music.
A true barometer of a song is naturally when you just take it back to the acoustic guitar it's written on, or the piano or whatever, and it still holds up. I mean, you know, Elton John can show you this, you know?
On Pride and Joy, the combination of dulcimer, harmonica, and guitar makes for a song that's not only powerful, but also rich in depth and creativity.
Something I rarely do is to let somebody play guitar on an album, but I did with David.
Ow!
I did with David.
Me bracelet.
The dulcimer adds a delicate folk touch, while the harmonica brings in that bluesy grit, and it all blends together perfectly with the hard rock foundation.
He encouraged me, in fact. He encouraged me to play guitar on the record. And apart from it being a singular honor, it was an absolute pleasure to work with him.
So take me to your river, baby, take me to your sea.
It's this kind of musical vision that has kept Page at the top of his game for decades, always finding new ways to surprise and inspire his listeners.
But, you know, we have very high standards of ourselves anyway. And certainly jointly, it had to be something that was really, you know, a killer album at the end of the day.
Jimmy Page's work on Pride and Joy is a perfect example of his genius as a multi-instrumentalist and creative force.
Cross my back, make it feel alright. I've never felt this good before.
By weaving in the dulcimer and harmonica alongside his signature guitar riffs, Page added unique textures and brought fresh energy to the track.
If you want out, step outside your door. You're the best I ever had.
His willingness to experiment and blend different musical influences is one of the many reasons why he's not just a rock legend, he's a musical pioneer.
It's a bloody marvelous piece of hard rock blues.
You look so good, oh baby, you must be mad.
With Pride and Joy, Page shows that even in the world of hard rock, there's always room for a little bit of folk, a little bit of blues, and a whole lot of creativity.
And we're bloody proud of it, too.
Thank you.